Most owners follow a familiar routine. They buy the premium bag recommended by a breeder and look for one specific phrase on the label: complete and balanced. It is a regulatory promise that the food in that bowl provides everything a pet needs to thrive. Yet, a documented pattern has emerged. Indoor cats fed these highly rated, dry diets frequently arrive at veterinary clinics with severe fecal impaction as early as their first year. This timeline maps the progression that often follows. After the initial impaction in year 1, owners frequently report the onset of chronic kidney disease and dental decay by year 3. Surgical interventions typically begin at year 5, leading to a collapse of organ function by year 8. For many, this sequence shortens a natural 20-year lifespan to just 10 or 12. When a pet enters this cycle, the owner usually assumes they made a mistake in brand selection or portion control. In reality, this health trajectory is a predictable outcome of the current pet food system's design. Adhering perfectly to the system's rules is often the very thing that triggers the harm. To find the source of the failure, we have to look past the marketing and examine the label's technical requirements. Evolution defined cats as obligate carnivores. Their biology is specialized for hunting, with kidneys calibrated to extract nearly all their required hydration directly from the moisture of their prey. Modern kibble production ignores this biological baseline. The process of hot extrusion relies on industrial chemistry, requiring starches and plant proteins to bind ingredients into a stable, dry pellet. The regulatory body, AAFCO, defines complete and balanced as a measurement of dry matter per 1,000 calories. This metric focuses entirely on nutrient density, while excluding hydration as a requirement for adequacy. Because cats lack the biological instinct to compensate by drinking standing water, a lifelong diet of 0% moisture food leads to a state of chronic, low-level dehydration. Premium brands often obscure the high volume of starch needed for these pellets by splitting the ingredient into multiple line items. This ensures that a meat source remains listed first on the bag, regardless of the actual carbohydrate load. Industrial chemistry remains the same regardless of the price tag. A zero-moisture diet is inherently at odds with the biological needs of a carnivore. The industry is well aware of this biological mismatch. The data showing how diet affects longevity has existed within their own internal research for decades. Purina conducted a 14-year study following 48 Labradors from puppyhood. The results were clear. The group fed a calorie-restricted diet lived nearly 2 years longer than the group fed standard industry portions. While Purina published these findings, the clinical conclusion never reached the consumer. Printing a recommendation to feed less on the packaging would directly undermine a business model built on moving maximum product volume. This creates a closed circuit where well-meaning vets and breeders pass down sanitized corporate guidelines, unintentionally training owners to follow a flawed nutritional logic. In this environment, the pet food system acts as an antagonist, prioritizing manufacturing efficiency and consumption rates over the long-term health of the animal. This strategy is a familiar part of industrial history. Big Tobacco recognized the health risks of their products as early as 1953, yet maintained a campaign of public denial for 45 years. Big Soda employed similar tactics, securing placement in primary school canteens to reach a vulnerable and uninformed consumer base long after the risks of sugar were understood. The brand on your pet's bag is likely part of this same corporate landscape. Mars operates Royal Canin alongside M&M's, and Nestle manages Purina while also producing candy bars. These labels exist as specialized divisions within confectionery multinationals. They utilize a shared corporate playbook, deflect criticism, sanitize internal data, and wait for public pressure to fade. Pet owners cannot wait for the industry to reform itself. Providing a healthy life for a pet requires an alternative built outside of the conglomerate loop. Building that alternative requires an engineering-led approach. This system applies the same FDA design controls used for cardiovascular implants to the challenge of pet nutrition. Carnivores evolved to extract nutrients over time, consuming muscle one day and organ meat or bone marrow the next. This system replicates that reality by delivering nutritional adequacy through a cumulative weekly portfolio. This diagram shows a 4-gram cold-pressed nutrient block, carrying precision micronutrients that heat normally destroys. The block works in tandem with the grocery, 6 real-world foods providing protein, volume, and hydration a dry pellet cannot. The schedule is built for real-world shopping habits. Feeding sardines daily provides essential vitamin D, while the primary protein rotates between chicken and mutton to maintain the mathematical balance. This 2-part system moves beyond the flawed metrics of the kibble industry. It reconciles evolutionary biology with the convenience of a modern household. To ensure these results are recoverable in the real world, the diet is tested through 5 independent simulation engines that account for variables beyond the lab. These simulations model daily noise, accounting for imperfect portion sizes, seasonal fish nutrient changes, thiamine loss during cooking, and fluctuating pet weights. In a test of 100,000 simulated feedings across the full metabolic range, 99.999% of nodes successfully cleared the baseline for nutritional adequacy. The system accounts for breed-specific vulnerabilities. Dalmatians follow a specialized egg white rotation, reducing purines, while Labradors receive copper modulation based on documented risks. There is a clear limit to this approach. This system provides daily nutrition for healthy pets. If a pet develops a condition like chronic kidney disease, the owner must rely on a vet's prescription diet. By moving away from industrial standards and embracing validated mathematics, owners can finally fulfill the promise of health and longevity they made to their pets.